58 years later, Star Trek has never shown the Klingons' most terrifying weapon. In the vast universe of Star Trek, the Klingons have always occupied a unique space in the imagination of fans. They are fierce warriors, steeped in honor and tradition, with a culture as intricate as it is intimidating. From their first appearance in the original series in 1967 to the latest episodes of Strange New Worlds and Discovery, they have been portrayed as both formidable enemies and occasionally reluctant allies. Yet, despite decades of storytelling, there remains a shadowy element of Klingon power that the franchise has never fully revealed. Their most terrifying weapon. The allure of the unseen weapon lies in its very mystery. Unlike the Romulans with their cloaking devices or the Borg with their assimilation technology, the ultimate Klingon weapon has remained largely abstract, often referenced but never fully demonstrated. Its legend exists in whispers, hints dropped in dialogue, allusions in fan theories, and nods to off-screen battles where Klingon might tip the balance of power. For nearly 6 decades, Star Trek has teased this danger, teasing viewers' imaginations, but never committing to a full-on reveal. From the very beginning, the Klingons were designed to be both fearsome and enigmatic. In Star Trek, the original series, their physicality and aggressive tactics made them formidable, yet the limitations of 1960s television meant their arsenal was largely conventional: disruptor rifles, batlets, and starships bristling with torpedoes. The writers relied on the terror of the unknown to elevate their menace. The Klingons' cunning, ruthlessness, and adherence to a warrior code created a psychological weapon as potent as any physical device. But this early conceptualization also set a precedent. The most terrifying Klingon weapon is as much about strategy, intimidation, and myth as it is about technology. One of the earliest hints of something far more terrifying came in Star Trek: The Next Generation. The series often explored Klingon politics, showing how their aggression and honor code could destabilize entire regions of space. Episodes like Redemption and The Way of the Warrior hinted at a capacity for destruction that went beyond what was on screen. While battleships and disruptors were impressive, the subtext was clear. The Klingons could unleash a level of devastation so profound it could not always be shown or explained in standard television terms. In many ways, the fear of the weapon mattered more than the weapon itself. Over time, other series and films expanded the lore. Star Trek: Deep Space Nine introduced concepts like the Klingon Federation conflicts, highlighting the political and cultural influence of the Klingons. Star Trek: Enterprise offered glimpses into proto-Klingon technology, and Discovery reimagined the Klingons as a visually striking, deeply ritualistic species with complex biology and culture. But even with all these portrayals, the franchise has kept the ultimate weapon just out of reach. Fans speculate endlessly. Is it a super weapon, capable of obliterating worlds in seconds? Is it a biological terror, exploiting the unique physiology of other species? Or is it something far more subtle, a form of psychological or strategic manipulation that can decimate entire fleets without firing a single shot? The genius of leaving the weapon unseen is that it amplifies the mythos. In storytelling, what is implied often carries more weight than what is explicitly shown. The unknown makes the Klingons' threat omnipresent. Every skirmish or negotiation carries the unspoken tension of what they could unleash if pushed too far. This is a clever narrative choice, one that echoes ancient war legends. Consider the way history remembers legendary armies or catastrophic devices. They inspire fear precisely because their full capabilities are never witnessed firsthand. The Klingons' ultimate weapon, in this sense, functions more as a narrative tool than a literal plot device. Fan culture has also elevated the mystery. For decades, fan fiction, role-playing games, and fan art have imagined the weapon in countless ways, from reality-warping devices to supercharged plasma cannons, to biochemical agents that exploit a starship crew's vulnerabilities. Each iteration adds to the collective imagination of the Star Trek universe, making the unseen weapon almost a character in its own right. By refusing to show it, the series encourages creative speculation, allowing each fan to fill in the terrifying gaps with their own imagination. Yet there is a subtle brilliance in the restraint. Star Trek has shown that the Klingons' true weapon may not even be physical. Their culture of honor, their willingness to die for their beliefs, and their unpredictable cunning create a battlefield advantage that no disruptor or torpedo could replicate. Every encounter with Klingons carries risk because they operate on a code of logic and honor that outsiders often cannot predict. In many ways, this is the most terrifying weapon of all: the uncertainty of facing an enemy who cannot be reasoned within conventional terms, whose strength is amplified by loyalty, sacrifice,